The clock is ticking in the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup. And the battle continues to heat up between these two Hendrick Motorsports heavyweights, as we all saw at Atlanta just one race ago.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And the king, Richard Petty, is going to turn him loose at Atlanta. Couple of Bush brothers battling side by side up front, and the Bass boy right behind him. Truex right now is kind of going on. Oh, Kyle Busch, what are you thinking about, buddy? Here you come. Whoa, here comes the caution flag in Atlanta. Oh, my heavens. Oh, the 11 cars out of gas. He gets hit from behind by the one of Truex.
Oh, man, a melee at the start-finish line.
Jimmy Johnson down for the green flag, trying to win a chase.
Junior spinning.
Junior spins up in front of McMurray. White in caution, and Jimmy Johnson will win it here at Atlanta. Jimmy Johnson led only 8 laps, but folks, they were the final 8 laps to pick up his 8th win of the year, and more importantly, moved to within 9 points of teammate Jeff Gordon in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Carl Edwards' runner-up finish moved him up to 4th in the points, and despite a dominating performance, that last lap incident with Martin Truex moves him back to 12th overall in the chase for the Nextel Cup standings. This week, the stars and cars of NASCAR find themselves deep in the heart of Texas. Fans here in the Lone Star State claim that everything is bigger and better in Texas. And folks, you know what? They just might be right. The cattle, the crowds, the competition, and the purse are as big as it gets down the stretch of the season. And when it comes to racing and chasing, no one does it better than the folks here at Texas Motor Speedway. And speaking of the kid who did it best yesterday in qualifying, how about Martin Truex? 4th first-time pole winner in 2007, 17th different pole winner overall. With more on the fastest man in Texas, let's go down the pit road and Dave Burns.
And Doc, Martin Truex was magic in qualifying. In fact, out of the realm of possibilities for the championship, but still in the chase, the one team has a lot to be proud of. They wanted to make one pole run this year so they could be in the Budweiser shootout at Daytona for the first race of the year. They did that yesterday. Now their goal, get this car fast for all 334 laps here at Texas Motor Speedway. The first practice, a bit of a struggle, and the track may have been the culprit. Martin describing the track as weird. I don't know how to tell you, but it just goes from tight to loose all of a sudden, and I don't know how to predict it. A weird racetrack, Doc, and that could make final practice very interesting.
Thank you very much, Dave. A lot of things I got to find out in this final practice, along with the champions, Rusty Wallace, Andy Petrie. I'm Jerry Punch. Glad to have you with us for our live coverage of NASCAR Nextel Cup Happy Hour. Guys, Happy Hour, all about the hunt for grooves, the hunt for gas mileage and tire wear. Rusty, what kind of grooves are you looking for today that'll help you on Sunday?
Well, Jerry, number one, you're trying to get your car to handle in all the grooves, but the problem is the very top groove here at Texas right now is really not rubbered in or burned in. It hasn't been run on enough. And last night's truck race, they run on the bottom of the track. But one thing I will guarantee you, you're going to have to run on the top of the track tomorrow in the NASCAR Nextel Cup race if you think you can win this thing.
And then we had tire issues last week at Atlanta where the tires worn out, you just wore completely out, and before the gas tank ran dry. So they're going to have a little bit of that here too. The tires are going to wear out. The good news is it's going to be just about when the tank runs out of fuel, and that makes then fuel mileage be a very important issue. So these guys are going to be looking at that and setting up for maybe a late race strategy play.
What about those teammates now battling for a title? For more on the Hendrick heavyweights, let's go down to Jamie Little.
Well, Doc, Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson are separated in the garage by just 7 feet between jack stands. Also, they have 9 points separating them in the championship points hunt. And they're just a click of a mouse away from complete race setup information for the crew chiefs to share. So what will separate these two here at Texas? Well, according to Jeff Gordon's crew chief, Steve Letarte, he told me it's not a matter of how much information sharing you have or who will outrun whom, it's who makes a mistake. Jeff Gordon had his issues early on, and then just last April, Jimmy Johnson, all by himself, took himself out of contention. Now, neither driver, you have to know, it has won here. So it's just a matter of keeping themselves safe and out of miscues, because, guys, if we see one of those miscues or mistakes here at Texas like we've seen in the past, it could open up the points chase for none other than Mr. Clint Boyer. Doc?
Thank you very much, Jamie. And back in the spring, 4 drivers in the chase finished 25th or worse. You saw Jimmy Johnson finish back in 38th position, Kurt Busch 37th. Harvick was 29th, and Tony Stewart, whose car spun back in April, finished 25th. And the stumble in Fort Worth is what we're talking about happened here in the spring. Now, these guys can ill afford. Jimmy Johnson sitting on pit road, just 9 points back, coming off back-to-back wins at Martinsville and Atlanta.
Well, Jerry, Jamie hit the nail on the head. These guys can have problems. When they've run all year long, Andy, they're only 9 points apart. That's how good these teams are. So, you know, it's going to take one of them messing up, making a mistake, because I don't think a performance issue is going to come into play.
Well, we see both these teams right here working on their cars. Jimmy Johnson is at the top of the speed charts. Jeff Gordon is on the other side of the speed charts right now, running just 1 lap and bringing the car in. And he hasn't been real happy with the comfort level he's been feeling in this car.
Now, this is the final practice session of the day. It is happy hour. That was won about an hour and a half ago, and during that session, we listened in to the 2 points contenders as they talked about what was happening with their cars.
It's a weird push. I don't know really how to describe it because the car is a little twitchy, but it's just so easy to break the traction of the front tires. Man, I'm going to wreck out here. You know, it's like it's grabbing and it releases. It's grabbing, it's releasing, and I can't tell what the hell it's doing.
It's that good feel like it wants to hook the corner, but you're talking about something with the sway bar. I think we can go up on that or wedge and bring some comfort, drivability back to it. And 2 is real friendly. 3 and 4, it's still a challenge. But I was just working on a little line action down there.
I hear these guys talking about their problems with their car, and it sounds to me like they're dealing with something very similar. They're explaining it in a little different way, but sometimes you deal with the tire construction, and it does that to you when different tire constructions have a different feel. And even though this racetrack is very similar to Atlanta, I think that these 2 tires, or at least the surfaces, are treating the tires a little differently, and it's unpredictable. And I heard this coming out of both of these guys.
Well, these guys all year long, particularly Jeff Gordon, he'll say things like this early in the practice sessions, and when the race is all done, he's right to the top. They've worked it out and figured it out. But Jeff showed a little frustration there in his voice. But now Jimmy, on the other hand, he was telling the guys what he thought they should do. Let's change the sway bar. Let's do this. I'm going to move my lines around. He was going to get more mechanical. I like how Jimmy was talking. But, you know, they both got their different ways of getting the job done, and it's been working for both of them.
And if you're wondering why these guys are so sensitive about what could happen in Texas, take a look, folks. 2 of the most successful drivers in NASCAR recent history, Gordon and Johnson, neither one have ever won a cup race at Texas Motor Speedway. Go figure. These guys have been so good everywhere. In fact, this track at Homestead, one of only 2 tracks where Jeff Gordon has never won. In fact, he's won 81 races. None of them have come here or at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Well, Jerry, one thing I think is pretty wild. I mean, the other 10 in the chase, those guys have only won 5. Let's take a look at this racetrack. We're coming down the back straightaway right now, Texas Motor Speedway. Going off into turn 3, you got to keep the car right dead on the bottom of the racetrack. Fastest way around the racetrack in practice. You won't run that line in the race. You'll run both lines, high and bottom. Now here we're going to cut the corner a little bit. We're going past the start-finish line, carrying a lot of speed, close to 200 miles per hour right here. Haul off into turn 1. There's some bumps here, guys, that really upset the car. You see the dark spots on the racetrack. Keep her on the bottom, and now the racetrack unloads. Look at all the marks in the wall right over there. You're going to see a lot of those in the Busch Series race today here on ESPN2 because the banking falls off, they lose the front of the car, and they hit the wall. But right now you can see these guys running dead on the bottom of the track. That's the fastest way around, but like we talked earlier, the groove's going to move up, Andy.
Yeah, it's definitely going to move up. You're going to see these guys, and they're not doing it now, but they will.
Jeff Burton, a 2-time winner. With more on him, we'll check in with Dave.
And in the day's first practice, Doc, not too bad for Jeff Burton. He was actually 8th quick overall among all cars, but his crew tells me the car wanted to not turn into the corner, a little tough getting it down in there. And then once it hit the center of the corner, it would try to spin out on him and then get tight again coming off the corner. So a little bit of a handful for the 31. They said, not sure where we are right now. We're going to try some things at the beginning here, see what we can give Jeff.
Happy hour continuing here. Final time these guys will be on the racetrack, and Jeff Burton trying to move up in the chase after gaining a spot the last 2 weeks. Lots of racing action to come your way. We'll kick it off 10 a.m. on Sunday. ESPN2 NASCAR Now, presented by Mobil 1. And then our live flag-to-flag coverage. Britt Musburger comes in to join us, along with the man Rusty Wallace, Andy Petrie and company. ABC Sports coverage, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday. Our coverage of NASCAR Nextel Cup Happy Hour being brought to you by Bank of America. Bank of America invites you to open a NASCAR banking account, including checks, check card, and credit card. Visit your local Bank of America banking center for more information. Bank of America, Bank of Opportunity. Jimmie Johnson, back-to-back wins at Martinsville and Atlanta, just 9 points out of the points lead. Here's the guy he's chasing, his mentor and teammate Jeff Gordon, a 4-time Cup champion. Neither one have won a race at Texas Motor Speedway. And right now, Jeff Gordon in happy hour, folks, is 39th on the speed charts.
Don't let that fool you too much, because he did run. He went out there that first, when the cars first went out there, to lay down that fast lap, which ranks these guys really how they are on this board. But he's running pretty good right now. They came in and made a change. Looking at his lap times, is very competitive with the guys at the top of the chart.
Yeah, exactly right, Andy. A lot of the cars are out there running in the 30 flat range, 30.06, 30.16. Well, Jeff Gordon just ran 29.97 and fastest last lap by a 30.15. So you're exactly right. He's very competitive. And that's one thing I hate about these computers, Jerry. It posts the very fastest time one lap. It's not looking at a big overall picture how these guys are really running.
But we will show you, and what they're talking about, exactly what drivers are concerned about. You're right, Rusty. They're talking about consistency, being able to run consistently quick laps. Now, here's the guy who has run the quickest one lap thus far in happy hour. That is Jimmie Johnson atop the speed charts.
And he's still running very consistent fast laps too now. So I think this is an indication. It's never a true indicator on the fastest lap, but a lot of times the fastest cars, even on the long run, will show up on a short run too.
And the third guy in this points mix wasn't very fast when it came to qualify. In fact, Clint Boyer starts 29th on Sunday, but not a bad happy hour thus far, right, Jamie?
Not so bad, but he came in right now and he just said, this car is so loose, it's going to be tough. I need you guys to help me out. He said, I don't know if I need track bar, if I need a wedge adjustment, what, which is exact opposite of what he was saying in yesterday morning's practice where he was really tight. But the good news is the temperatures are coming up and they're closer to what the race is going to be like tomorrow. So right now, Clint Boyer just working on his setup. Car's a little loose. He wants to tighten it up just a tad. Let's go check in with Dave Burns.
And Jamie, how about a big old trailing arm changed on the 29 car? This is a fairly significant change on the left side of this car. Kevin reporting that they got the car loosened up, not just going into the corner, but all the way around. So a change in length on the truck arm, Andy, can be a big help to that.
Dave, they can run different lengths of these arms, and it does affect the way the car handles, especially coming off the corner. They're looking for some kind of a forward bite. They can change the length of that arm, and they've just got so many adjustments on these cars that they can go to, and that's kind of a unique one. And it's a long change. You see these guys taking a little while to get it done.
That is a pretty drastic change, though, isn't it, in a happy hour setting?
It is, but they're looking at the board. They're running pretty good. They're looking for something extra here. So why not spend a little extra time and do something like that?
Here's the guy beside me that always did that in happy hour. I don't care how good we're running, how well we are, I'm going to change something because I can run a little bit better.
I was just getting ready to say something. I'm watching these guys make this change. The last time I did this when I drove the car was Phoenix, Arizona. I took a long trailing arm off the left side of the car, put a shorter arm, made the car turn better in the center of the corner, and I finished 7th that day. So I think it was okay change.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what these guys are looking for. Just that little edge is what they're trying to find.
Also does in the center of the corner as the cars travel the wheels, as they go up in the fender wells, it lets the rear end steer a little bit. It actually turns the rear end, makes it turn better, and in some cases gives a little more forward bite. Also, when you nail the throttle, because that arm's so short.
Work ongoing. We'll update you on what's happening here with the 29 of Kevin Harvick. Let's update Kyle Busch, who's 6th in the chase standings right now. Kyle, who had such a difficult finish at Atlanta last week, came in leading and had that trouble on pit road, ended up getting a 20th place finish, but still now in 6th in the chase. And how about differently? Talk about chasing the lines here in this half hour. How about Dale Earnhardt Jr. way up high on the racetrack?
Yeah, right now you saw a little bit of dust coming out of the back of this car, guys, and this is what the NASCAR Nextel Cup cars tend to do better than the Busch Series or the Truck Series. They work that top line, and you see Dale Jr., he's just going for it right off the bat.
Rusty, do you think that's because of the talent level that we see in the Cup Series, that these guys are just better race car drivers so they can go up there and push it closer to the wall?
You know, Andy, I don't know. These guys, they got some high talented fellas in the Busch Series too. When the Cup guys get in the Busch cars, they can't tend to do it in the Busch cars that quick. But now, you know, this takes a lot of nerve. Look how much debris is coming out of the back of this car. The racetrack's dirty and stuff's flying out of the back, but he's still up there running.
And see, he gets out of the throttle right here. He's probably realized now that he would like to practice up there because that's where he's going to race. But the track is so dirty. He's wanting to clean it off, but it's so dirty he can't seem to get it where he can work on his car.
He probably wished he had some help up there. If he had 3 or 4 more cars that were up there on top of the racetrack, it'd be better.
Well, he certainly hasn't had any help, and he hasn't had much luck either this year. Talking about the race in Atlanta just a week ago, and the wheel comes off here in the final laps. He thought he might have a shot at a good top 5 finish.
And that was unreal. I mean, you haven't seen that in a long time where the wheel actually just flies off with only a lap to go. And a problem like that.
That produced his 8th DNF of the year. Did not finish, 6 related to engine problems. And, of course, you know, the last 2. And, of course, you see the struggles he had. He had a 100-point penalty back at Darlington for the unapproved bracket there on the wing. Did not make the chase, currently sitting 13th in points. But coming to a racetrack here that's been awfully good to him over the years. He got his very first win here, and I think this team believes they're going to be awfully good on Sunday. Let's update the radio communications for this guy here on the racetrack, Jeff Gordon, just a moment ago.
Wow, the grip is just way less than it was earlier. I mean, it's not good. I mean, the back end is not hooked up. The front end is not hooked up. Just way off. I mean, right there, I'm still pushing. You know, I'm pushing, and the back end ain't even close. I start off free, and then go into this terrible push.
And crew chief Steve Letard standing at the front of Jeff Gordon's car, talking to his driver, asking him what he wants. They just made another change. Early on, they took that spring rubber out in the right rear. Now they're putting that spring rubber back in. So right now, they're just trying to mess with this car, mess with the balance, and see what they can do to get that back end and front end hooked up. Guys?
Rusty, how can it change that quickly? How can it be free, and then suddenly have a terrible push?
Well, the temperature of the racetrack's a lot different, too. In the early session, the track was more hooked up. Now it's getting hotter. The track's getting slicker. So they just got to self-adjust. The problem he's got right now, he's going to be running out of time. He's going to have to get this thing done. And if he doesn't get it right, he can go to Jimmy Johnson, the guy he's competing against, and ask for help from him.
That's the one thing you got when you've got teammates like this. But what they're looking for is consistency in this race car over the long haul. And we can see now, if we look at this 10-lap average right here, who is the fastest over 10 laps? Reed Sorensen and Mark Martin are up on the top of this list.
That's exactly what Rusty was talking about. It's about consistency. Here are the guys who are good for 10 laps or more. Reed Sorensen right now atop the speed charts. Back at Texas Motor Speedway, coverage of Happy Hour ongoing, and you saw a little bit ago Kevin Harvick's crew working very hard to change a trailing arm. We call it a truck arm in the back of the car. What does that do and how does it work? Well, why don't we show you as we get down to our ESPN Dish Tech Center and Tim Brewer.
Jerry, we've got a really good explanation right here. Folks, as you can see the trailing arm right here, the bracket that sets up underneath the driver right here. You also see this cross member that we have here. What they've actually done, they've extended the bracket back. They've literally put a shorter trailing arm on the car, hoping to make the car free up through the center of the corner of the racetrack. Jerry?
Thank you, Tim. Now, that ESPN Dish Tech Center, folks, just a part of what we travel every week here to cover NASCAR for you. In fact, the setup takes more people, parts, trucks, and the talent than a Super Bowl setup. Fans are always asking us, what's it like to go behind the scenes? What does it work? How does all this stuff work? We're going to show you as we take you behind the scenes of our ESPN NASCAR telecast.
26 racetracks.
Chicagoland Speedway.
Talladega Super Speedway.
North Carolina. 33,468 miles of travel. 38 weekends. This is ESPN's coverage of NASCAR.
I've worked in the sport for 13 years, and when we showed up in Daytona this year, it was like I'd been out of the sport for 10 years.
We have high-definition cameras that fit in the palm of your hand to our big studio cameras up on the roof.
We've got 4 RF cameras, 10 hard cameras, 11 robo cameras, a couple jibs, POV cameras that are put out under walls.
There isn't a single feed that we put on there that isn't high definition. ESPN has put forth one of the biggest efforts to put everything in HD.
We do 8 in-car cameras. We also have pitman cameras, and then we have the pace car system. Having HD quality come out of a car going around the track at 200 miles an hour. That's something that was a few years ago was almost unheard of.
One of the most amazing things we do is our in-race reporter. Talking to Stephen Light when he was, 20 laps from winning his first Busch race ever.
You just go for it, or what do you do?
We're only going to have a handful of laps left. As soon as the green flag drops, just see what we got.
We've taken that access and made it so that the viewers at home can literally sit shotgun with a race car driver, and no other sport does that.
We carry 13 6-channel EVSs, 3 IP directors, 3 X-Files, all interfaced together. In years past, we'd have 2 EVSs and 10 tape machines. Now we're all EVSs.
Around the track for ambience microphones, we're using anywhere from 80 to 100 usually per track. Another location that gives us the in-car radios.
We've got every single driver. What we try to do is get some of the people that some of the other networks might not focus on. ESPN's really the only network that's committed that much to get radios on the air.
This is definitely the biggest. There's more cables, there's more people, a lot more trucks, more satellite trucks.
This is a weekly Super Bowl, and that's really what it is, and it's amazing.
I've done a lot with ESPN. This is above and beyond anything I've ever worked on. Olympics included. This has just been huge.
And folks, Mobile City all coming, bringing NASCAR into your living rooms on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and so many talented people, cameras, microphones, and if one of those crew members gets the hiccups on pit road, Dennis Ryan down in the audio booth will let you hear it, folks. We'll come back with more coverage from our great staff at Texas in just a moment. Back at Texas Motor Speedway, coverage coming your way live, flag-to-flag coverage of the NASCAR Nextel Cup chase for the championship. Stop number 8 of 10, 3 o'clock Eastern time on ABC. Martin Truex will lead the field of the green flag. Flanking him will be Jeff Gordon back in second spot. Juan Pablo Montoya and Kevin Harvick back in row 2. Here in happy hour, Jimmy Johnson continues to be the quickest car overall. Johnson sitting atop the speed charts in the 48 car. Kurt Busch back in second. Reed Sorensen back in third. Good run for Reed in the 41 car, coming off that career best finish last week at Atlanta. Let's listen in to Jimmy Johnson and his crew here on the onboard radios.
I feel like when you moved up to the top of 3 and 4. Not bad. I felt like I was a little tighter through the center up there, but didn't feel bad. It actually helped my entry out a lot. Getting up there, I liked it, and I plan on getting up there and racing there.
Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, he's searching the grooves. Instead of running dead on the bottom of the racetrack, he just said, hey, I just moved my line up going into 3. I like that a lot better. So you can see right now these drivers are searching around this racetrack to find some comfort because they know they've got to get their car working all over, not just in one spot.
It's like he tried it for a few laps, but then before he came in, he was right back down on the bottom running the fast laps. So he says, I plan on running up there, just not right now. Yeah,
right now, you're exactly right, Eddie, because when you look at a stopwatch, you're going to run faster in this session on the bottom. But you want to know that you can do it up top. And when you got to pass somebody, you can't follow them. You got to go around them on the outside or underneath them. So
you got to go where they ain't.
Absolutely, man. You got to have some maneuverability.
Here's the guy that won this race in dominant fashion a year ago. And, folks, he was the fastest car in the earlier practice today. Let's go down to his pits and Jamie Little.
Well, I just talked to his crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, and he said they got out a little bit late, so they missed that opportunity to put a fast time up on the board when the track was cooler. But he said right now our car feels great. They went out and did a 23-lap run, and Tony said it felt great. So that's good news for the race setup, of course, because that's what it's all about right now. But Greg also threw in there, he said, we've run so bad the last 5 weeks. Tony's barely made any bonus money. He needs a haircut. So they put together the smoke haircut fund, and guys, just a little token, I'm going to throw one in there for Stewart. He needs a haircut. Let's go over to Dave Burns.
Hey, Jamie, I want to tell you a little story about Mike Moore. He's a mechanic on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team. And Andy Petrie, I want to ask you, did you ever get hit by a lug nut when you were changing tires?
A few times I did.
How does that feel? Not good, huh?
Not too good.
Mike got hit in the upper lip last week, and he's not even over the wall anymore. 17 years he was a jackman, I said, and I never got hit like this with a lug nut. It hit him in the upper lip. He said it felt like I'd been shot. And you know how much a lug nut weighs? It's like a overweight piece of grandma's fudge, and they're hard as a rock. These little things, when another car is leaving pit road, they sometimes get under the tire and shoot it back. And that's what happened to Mike. He's okay, took 4 stitches, and thankfully his mom now knows he's okay too.
Hey, Dave, you want to know how tough that guy really is? The first time he jacked a race car for us, it was a 3-car, he actually sheared the end of his finger off on the jack stop and finished the jack stop, the pit stop.
Oh, man.
That's a tough guy right there.
Is he tough or crazy? I don't know. That's okay. I guess it's got to be tough and crazy to do this job.
He's a good friend of mine, too. I like Mike.
And here's a guy who's our in-race reporter on Sunday. We'll be able to ride along and listen to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's had some pretty doggone special moments over the years at this racetrack, although he's got right now riding a 58-race winless streak and would love for that to end here in tomorrow afternoon. And we talked about the special moments for Earnhardt Jr. At this racetrack. We turn back the clock to 2000, his very first race here, April of that year, and he would come out of turn 4 to win his very first NASCAR Nextel Cup race. Yeah, the Budweiser guys were celebrating, but there was no one any happier than guess who? Dale Earnhardt Sr. dad, who was also in that race, because he saw his boy realize a dream that day, following in his famous father's footsteps. As Dale Jr. celebrates, there's the big hug, father and son. What a special day for the Earnhardts.
Right now, back in the racetrack, he's doing a pretty good job right now. He just passed Tony Stewart. He's pulling away from Stewart by a pretty good margin right now.
Good.
Ooh, look at that. Good right there. That's a good sound out of a driver.
More on Earnhardt Jr., Dave.
And guys, that's an improvement. Glad to hear Junior say that, because just a little while ago in the garage area, he told his team, we really need to work on the front end of this race car. It is not good. They made a bunch of geometry changes to the suspension on the front end. And Junior's comment was, if we can get this car turning, we can win.
No, I wouldn't doubt about it. He's been so strong. I mean, every time he's in the race, and he's in the top 5 or he's leading before he has an engine failure, or like last week, a problem with the tire.
Well, speaking of battles of beers and battle on the racetrack, here's the 2-car, Kurt Busch, who is currently 2nd on the speed charts. Penske car, and he's hugging the bottom of that racetrack.
They've had some great races on these style of racetracks, too. You got to think he's due again.
Yeah, this is the car they won Pocono with. Turn 3 and 4 here at Texas, believe it or not, it's about 24 degrees of banking, but the guys feel like it's flatter than some of the other tracks. I was talking to Juan Pablo Montoya. He said, Rusty, down to 3 and 4 just feels flatter than Atlanta. And so they brought more of a flat track style car to this racetrack. This is the car they won Pocono with and had all the success. And right there, boy, that track flattens out big time there, Andy.
I think the racetrack, the corner itself is banked about the same, but it does flatten out a lot more off the corners on both ends of the racetrack, and I think that's why they say that it acts more like a flat track.
Let's see how these guys are doing in terms of overall averages for 15 laps. And the Penske team, there's Ryan Newman at the very top of that chart. Newman up there, Martin Truex Jr., Casey Kane, Allmendinger is there, Jeff Burton. And guys, one name you don't see there in the 10-lap average or 15-lap average is our points leader, Jeff Gordon. He's not even on there. Coverage of NASCAR Nextel Cup Happy Hour ongoing from Texas Motor Speedway. We'll cover Clint Boyer in just a moment.